And it looks like we're live. We good?
We good?
All right, sweet. Anyways, hey, what's going on, everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and who do I have with me here?
Modbot.
And how are you doing today, Modbot?
I'm doing really good, man. I finally got caught up on a lot of my stuff. I got a haircut and a shower, and so things are feeling a little more at place in the world. How you doing, man?
Oh, dude, I'm doing quite well. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking me.
Right on. So,
Yeah.
what's new with you, man?
Oh, well, I guess first off, we can say this whole thing is new. ModChat Plus. Like, what the hell is ModChat Plus? We did ModChat a few weeks ago, but now is this an actual thing, or is this just something that I messed up on the title with?
No, ModChat Plus was basically we did a casual. I don't know how it like originated originally. We did a casual live stream, not a live stream, no, casual podcast where we were kind of just talking about different things that weren't particularly related to modding, and we decided that it'd be like kind of cool to do this thing where people can get to know us a little bit more on a personal level. They can kind of talk about whatever is going on and hang out with you guys, and that it would be just I don't know a good fun hangout essentially. And we were supposed to do it a lot more often. But it was already such a commitment kind of for us to just make sure we got our mod chat going at least once a month that especially I'd say probably more on my end that it was hard for even Mr. Mario to like get me in for that one day a month. So kind of
Admittedly, yes, kind of.
yeah, and so mod chat plus just kind of got put on the back burner. And yeah, now I'm basically at home. So last week we did our mod chat plus no mod chat. I'm sorry, now I'm confused myself. Last week we did our regular mod chat and decided, hey, why don't we do our mod chat plus? And so here we are. So it's kind of just a time for us to hang out, catch up with each other, talk about whatever, hang out with you guys. I'm sure answer some questions and stuff like that. And anything I missed, I feel like that's
No, I think that's about it. Really, it was kind of just a spin-off series that we had planned out, and it was more, Mod Chat is for our actual modding topics, well, whenever we actually stay on topic there, and then Mod Chat Plus is more like, hey, if you want to listen to us more talk about random stuff that's not modding related, like if you just want to listen to the host talk about things, Mod Chat Plus is available, and that's why Plus is in it's like an extra thing. And if you're not interested in that at all, you have regular Mod Chat that we're going to do once a month. The main difference on there is really, Mod Chat Plus is a bit more casual, but also we are not talking about modding on here. We've never done a live episode of this. The last episode we actually did of Mod Chat Plus was in March of last year.
jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
several people had actually been asking, they're like, when's Mod Chat Plus? And it was the last time we had Mod Chat. We're like, we should really do Mod Chat Plus. People are
Yeah.
asking about it now. So again, that's why we've never done this, Mod Chat Plus live before. So it'll be a fun turn of events to see what's going on.
Yeah, because back when we did the Mod Chat Plus in March, we hadn't even started doing regular Mod Chats live because we didn't start. When did we start doing that? Like maybe August of last year, something like that? Or
I want to say it was August. It was definitely like the last, I want to say maybe quarter of
yeah,
2016 that we started doing live episodes. Might have
yeah,
been a
cool.
little bit before that.
Well, because even when we started doing the live episodes, the first live episode was just supposed to be like a test thing to do a live episode, and then after we did the live episode, it went so well, we decided, heck, why don't we just do them all live? Plus, it's honestly a lot more fun, dude. Like, it's more fun for me, I think, and for you talking with each other doing it live, as well as it's really nice having the chat there versus later on responding to text comments.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely a big plus, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess first thing, I have to talk about Resident Evil.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
This game is fucking incredible so far. Now, Daniel has not played it. He told me before the stream that he ended up watching the entire thing streamed, right?
Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm too much of a chicken shit. I don't really play horror games, but this was a horror game that it had been hyped up so much, and a lot of the YouTubers that I do enjoy watching their content were playing it, so I ended up watching the whole thing played through, and it was like a movie for me, though, man. I mean, it was like probably one of the first actual playthroughs I've watched from beginning to end in a long time, and I like waited every day for the next episode to come out so I could watch it, and yeah, it's really. Mr. Mario said no spoilers, so I didn't really tell him anything at all. I just said that it's phenomenal, and literally from beginning to end, it was killer. So I will say that there were certain parts like that I thought were kind of scary, but it really wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. It was more like again, maybe it's different if you're actually playing it and you have your headset on, you're in the dark. I don't really know, but for me, it was more just like really like a really well put together mystery. Essentially, is kind of what it was.
hmm
You
I
know?
think so far my only I have two complaints about it, which I mean I'm a bit critical as well too. But my only complaints are really like one, I feel like there's just some technical difficulties on I'm playing on PS4 Pro
Mhm.
and loading times take a good amount of time, almost too long. And then the other thing is also there's a bit of texture popping where it's like you're like right in front of a picture or something, and it takes a good amount of time for it to load in sometimes. That's more the platform I'm on, but aside from that, it's still pretty well optimized. It looks beautiful. It runs at 60 frames a second, pretty much solid.
Mhm.
But the only complaint I really have about the game itself is I'm playing, at least with sensitivity, I'm playing on high sensitivity, and it still feels a bit too slow to me, which is a bit annoying. But even
Gotcha.
still, those are just me being really picky about it.
Yeah.
Aside from that, like aside from those two things, I don't have any complaints about the game itself. It does really what it needs to. It's very atmospheric. It's incredibly well done. It is scary, and it has actually like I was thinking of this. I would not recommend because you said you end up watching it, but like I was not going to recommend that you play it just because it has made me scream twice so far.
Oh, has it really?
Yeah, which I have a pretty high horror tolerance. At least I
I
like to
believe it.
think
Yeah,
that.
you like scary shit.
Yeah, now the first time I think it was kind of because I got out of it and then I put myself immediately back in a scary situation. What happened was like there was one part where I had to go up a certain place. So I put down the controller, I put it on pause, I went around, did things around my apartment for like 20 minutes, then came back, unpaused the game, I walk like 5 feet, and then somebody jumps out at me.
Got
Like
you. You just weren't
that
ready
yeah, that I was not ready
mentally.
at
Yeah.
all.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
the other time I just started it here, and pretty much there was I fucking hate the molded creatures. They're just disgusting and
Oh,
terrifying.
yeah.
Yeah,
PewDiePie
no,
kills
they
them.
are. This is one of the
Kills them.
grossest games I've played, honestly. But no, one point, like I was in the main hallway and there was two molded there.
Uh,
So I was just trying to run away and get around one of them. And then I go up the stairs. There's one immediately right there facing me. That one made me scream.
scared to shit out of you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So no, they've done a very good job of it so far. A lot of people were worried because this not the first time it's gone first person, but the first time a main series Resident Evil game has gone first person, and
Uh,
they've don't worry, they've done a fantastic job of it.
yeah. It was again what I saw was really 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 good. And I don't know. Even just watching. I don't really want to say anything like because again, if people are here that haven't played it or are gonna play it, but
I'll say be vague about it. Like the way I was describing it, I was being vague so that you know the
okay.
situation I'm in, but like there's no spoilers.
Got you. Well, I'll say okay. So like the first episode that I watched was 45 minutes long, and in that first 45 minutes, when it basically was setting up for like kind of what's gonna happen, I was by the end of it like, oh fuck, like it's crazy, dude. You're like, oh my god, like it does not give you a lot of time to like. It kind of just throws you into it. Basically, is what I'm getting at. Like once you get past an initial point, it just like you're like, man, this thing's gonna be a twisted fucking game.
The pace is fantastic on it. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Do you know how long it was in the works for?
I don't know. It's probably been in development for at least 2 years, I would say. Resident Evil 6 came out in, I want to say, 2012.
Okay.
But they haven't been developing it since Resident Evil 6. They probably
Yeah.
started maybe shortly after that or something. It's so great, though, just due to the fact that Resident Evil 6 I thought was absolutely horrible. And then this is just like, no, it's going back to this mainstay. I did think of this today, and honestly, I don't think that they should stay first person for the other Resident Evil games. But I felt like this was a very good delve into it.
I haven't played really any of the Resident Evils except for like one of the two old ones a little bit. I played a little bit of a remastered one on PS4.
Oh, that was Resident Evil 1, right?
Was it one? It might have been.
I think it was that because you had gameplay of it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I
it
did.
was the
Okay.
first one. Yeah.
Okay. But I know like my buddy that I live with here, he's a big Resident Evil fan. He's played through quite a few of them, and he told me that he thought both 5 and 6 were pretty garbage.
Yeah, 5, that's because they pretty much turned it into like Gears of War Resident Evil, and then Resident Evil 6, which is like Resident Evil 5 is a good action game.
Yeah,
Resident Evil
just said that
6
they
was
weren't
just
really
horrible all over.
He just basically told me that they weren't really scary.
hmm
So, and while this one, he's like, nah, this one like is they're like they nailed it. Like it feels more like what Resident Evil is supposed to be.
Yeah, no, I actually in my first impressions video I forgot to say this, but like I generally what is it? I generally like got anxiety playing this game.
Yeah,
Like when I first started playing it, when I got into the house, um I was getting anxiety off that, just like returning there, and I had to like kind of calm myself down, and everything, and then like just you're on edge when you're playing it. At least if you let the game get to you, like I was, like I really like getting into that whole headspace. But then when I got to the first safe room, or like the first or second one, but one of them at least in the one of the corners of the house, when I got there, it's like it's a whole different lighting, different atmosphere. There was music playing, and I just breathed this huge sigh of relief. Like I legitimately felt incredibly safe in there, in this like
yeah,
nightmarish filled world.
yeah, yeah. It's wild. Has your girlfriend watched you play it at all or no?
No, she hasn't watched it at all. My girlfriend, just for the record, she doesn't play games. But like the things we have done, like she'll pretty much watch me play game, and she very much enjoys watching.
Yeah.
She's an RPG fan. Like when I met
Okay.
her, she was telling me about like The Witcher and Dragon Age, and she's a big
Cool.
fan of those games,
Okay.
but she's never ever played any of them. And even so, then she's tried to play a few, and she's not the best at it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, I could try and run Resident Evil by her. We didn't play it this past weekend, but I asked her about it. She's like, "Well, I don't like horror games that much, but if I'm with you, it's okay."
Yeah, I was just curious, like if you happen to play around here, like if she was like freaking out too, because I know that like I was trying to get my girlfriend to even watch one of the playthroughs with me, and I put one on one time when she was over, and like looked over at her 3 minutes later, and she was on Instagram, so I was like, great. But yeah, I was just wondering if like because I could like my buddy's wife has been watching it a little bit with him, and she's like sitting in the chair like freaking out too. So we kind of all watched it together. It's been really fun. So I was just kind of curious if she had like watched you play it at all, but like whether she thought it was scary or not or whatever.
I'm sure she would think it's scary.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
Yeah, no. So far, I mean, kind of just overall consensus of Resident Evil, at least for me, highly recommend it. Pick it up.
Isn't there another really big horror game coming out this year?
Is there another really big horror game coming out this year?
Yeah, I think there's like a version to like a number 2 of one that was really. Is it Give me 1 second. Let me see.
Okay. All right. Cool. We'll get this all figured out. I guess in the meantime, something else I've gotten into. I haven't done any videos on this yet, but 3D printing. I guess now maybe I should start calling myself like Mr. Mario 930 or Dope Sweater 2011.
It's Outlast 2, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
I just want to say, kind of skirting back to the Resident Evil thing. A lot of people are saying they're just like, "Oh yeah, Resident Evil 7's ripping off of Outlast," and I'm like, if you play Outlast and you play Resident Evil 7, they're both incredibly different games. Just in terms of, it's one of those things when you look at them, they look the same. They're both, in the dark first-person horror games. It's like, no, they play completely differently. And then on top of that, I actually didn't think Outlast was scary. I thought it was funny.
Is the storyline similar or no?
Oh, no, not at all. Outlast, you're going to a mental hospital, and you're a reporter there trying to figure out a story and uncover what's been going on there. And then Resident Evil 7, you're finding your wife.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, I've never.
Also,
Resident
Evil 7, they give you guns, and Outlast, they make you feel naked without weapons. So
Got you. So it's like one of those more like a hide and seek type game.
yes, that's exactly what it is. You play hide and seek multiple times in Outlast.
Got you. Those games are usually actually when I've seen those games are actually kind of scarier to me, just because you feel so like vulnerable and you don't like. At least in Resident Evil, dude, you've got guns and shit. You can fight back the monsters. While there's other games I've seen. There's a game on PS2 that long story. My old babysitter when I was very little. She
The hot one.
Yeah, dude. I guess I talked about her before to you. She liked horror games, and she played a game where you're like this girl with your dog, and you get locked in this castle, and it's basically this big fucking monster thing, and you just like you're hiding under the bed, you're hiding in the closet, and like it's like probably a puzzle style essentially, or survival horror, I guess is what it would be called. But the way she described it, like that sounds very terrifying to me, because she says you're basically like you're totally like not vulnerable. What's the word? I can't think of the word I'm using, but it just you're helpless. You're
Yeah.
basically helpless. All you're doing is like scrambling, and then the thing comes in the room. You see its fucking feet like stomping around looking for you and shit. Like, yeah. So those games to me, like that sounds terrifying to me because again, you can't run out there with like a fucking machete and take a swing at it. You're literally just like this little girl hiding under the bed from this monster. So
Hmm.
I don't know. That should just I don't see the fun in it, but I
The
don't know,
way
man.
Resident Evil combats that is they limit you quite a bit on what is it? They limit you quite a bit on ammo.
Got you.
Yeah, so it's like as I said, when I was like facing those molded, I was running away from them because I'm like, I got like 3 bullets across all my guns. I can't take on these things.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely an added element to it in the way you play it because it's you have to use your shit sparingly essentially.
Hmm.
Hunting Grounds game. This guy's. I just want to see if this is the game he's talking about. It's called Hunting Grounds. That's
Okay,
totally it, I believe.
is it Hunting
Yeah,
Grounds?
100%. Yeah, Hunting.
Was that PS2?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
cool. I've actually never played that game. So, Ubel 10, I think that thank you for mentioning that. I should probably pick that up at one point. James is thinking it's 101 Dalmatians.
Oh, yeah. No, he's close. Yeah, it's called.
I mean, hey, if you're a puppy escaping Cruella de Vil, eh?
It's by Capcom, and it's a yeah, released in 2004. So
Okay.
all of a
I've seen
sudden,
the cover and I've seen it several times, but I've never actually like seen it physically, but I've never seen any gameplay of it and I've never played through it. I'd like to try it though.
I think I might end up putting this down to see if there's a good playthrough of it because I'd like to watch it just because. Again, I just remember talking about it so much. How does he know? Have you played that game? I'm just to me that's crazy because like that's to me not like it wasn't a big game. I don't remember anyone talking about that game on PS2,
No one
ever
was. I
at
just saw it
all.
in game shops.
Yeah. And again, I only knew of it through. It says expensive. I wonder what expensive means.
Yeah, probably at least $60, maybe, or at least 40. I'm not sure. Yeah, I will say this: the person asking, I have not played Resident Evil 7 VR. I'm kind of waiting for my second playthrough on that because it's already scary enough. Like right now, the problem is too, and I swear when I'm saying this, I'm just stating facts. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but like I have a decent enough setup in my living room. Like I have a like 55-inch TV. I'm playing in 5.1 surround sound, and then I'm on PS4 Pro, so everything looks crispy on there, which is nice. But the thing is, with these horror games, the better setup you have, like even if you have like a really nice headset or something, the more terrifying they become.
Dude, it's a fucking expensive game, bro.
How much is it?
Talking about $100.
Okay.
Cheapest
Yeah,
I
I
can
mean,
see it for is $80. That's insane, dude. I wonder if she has it. Like, hey, you remember that game? Do you have it? Can I have it?
yeah, it's like, hey, I'll give you like $20 for it. It's an old PS2 game. It's not worth that much, you know.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. I mean, you can play it. Dude, they have. I haven't really played too much. They have pretty good PlayStation 2 emulators or no?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
PCSX 2, that's the last one I used. And it was pretty
Okay.
solid. I use it on my old computer. I haven't installed any emulators on my new computer yet.
Okay. But you were able to get like decent frames and stuff like that.
Yeah, and this was a few years ago.
Okay. So I'm sure with like current builds and stuff. And well, if it's been a couple of years, they might have even updated it to be even better at this
Oh
point.
yeah, no, it's much better. And you know, PS2 emulation is kind of a bit of a rocky road, but it's still totally doable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got my horror talk out of the way. You got me talking about horror stuff, and then I got excited because it's like nostalgic for me. I'm this little kid.
No worries.
So,
I mean, I remember one of my first game nightmares was from Resident Evil 2, where I played through. I remember the first time I played Resident Evil 2, I touched it. I played it up until I got off the bus, and then I died, and I went to bed immediately after, and I had a nightmare that zombies were eating me in a dungeon.
it's terrifying. Well, how
Yeah,
old?
it was absolutely terrifying. I told my brothers that story too. I'm like, that's why I don't recommend playing horror games when you're a kid.
How old were you when? Or like
I was
roughly?
like 9.
Wow, your parents let you play horror games when you were 9?
My mom was chill with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was not my parents at all, man.
Yeah.
I didn't get to play teen until I was like teen, and then M was like I was like 15 or 16 when I was allowed to play M games. Like I had to hide them my whole life.
Oh man, my parents were well, my dad was kind of a bit more strict on it, but my mom was pretty chill about it. Her whole rule in the house was if I don't let you play it here, you're gonna figure out a way to play it. So I
Yeah,
just might as
which
well
is
let you play it now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah, and I think there should be some limits on there. She was pretty lenient on it, a bit too lenient in my opinion, but it's still me at least for the stuff that I like and all that too. And like those memories, they're still fond memories, even if they're terrifying to me.
Well, I think that maybe a little bit of the reason, like me not being able to play those scary and horror games when I was little, is the reason why I'm so terrified of them now. I
And
just
I
wasn't
think
exposed to them, you know?
And I think it's the opposite for me, where the reason why I was exposed to all those horror movies and games and all that stuff when I was younger is why I have such a high tolerance now. And like,
Yeah.
there's like horror movies I watch and I'm just like busting out laughing at them.
Yeah. Well, me the whole time, I'm like, I feel like I could have a heart attack at any second right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of like desensitization to it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
It's
no, I was
it's
absolutely desensitized. Also, I feel like I am desensitized to at least virtual violence because of all the M-rated games I was playing when I was younger.
yeah, yeah. I think that the only shooting game I was allowed to play at all, my mom didn't even like it, dude, was GoldenEye. She'd
Okay.
come in, you come into my room, and I remember we had to like change up the settings so that way it was fucking paintballs. And I was like, no, mom, like it's
Oh,
just paintballs. Yeah, it was. Yeah, dude, it was all sorts of funny shit. And then even with like, I remember with COD 4, dude, my mom would come in on usually that's like PS3 days, dude, and she saw me and my brother playing it. Was like, what is this? And we just told her it was a demo, dude, and like we told her for the whole year we played it, like it's just a demo. Like, man, you guys are playing this demo a lot. I'm like, yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And she's like, you have to play this demo. And yeah, it was most of my life, dude. Other than like platformers on older gen consoles, it was after that like racing games and shit, dude. Up until like junior year of high school, when finally my mom was just like, just no Grand Theft Auto and don't play it in front of your brother. So
I gotcha. Yeah, my parents were still even iffy with the whole Grand Theft Auto thing, but then it got to the point they're like, "You've been playing all the." Because I even told them straight up, I'm like, "I've been playing all the other games, guys. Like, if you're gonna block me from playing the newest Grand Theft Auto, what are you gonna accomplish?"
yeah, exactly. I think that my parents might have heard things, like in articles online or
Yeah,
shit about Grand Theft Auto and you're
my.
murdering cops and stuff like that, and So
Mhm.
it was because there was even like I know that World of Warcraft has had a lot of bad rap in articles and stuff like that. Like there
Oh,
was a kid that
absolutely.
like killed his parents or something like that when they took the internet. At least that's what the article said. I don't know if there's more to
I
the
mean,
story or
just
not.
video games and media in general. I remember also like even Beavis and Butthead, for example, that was just completely hated by parents because like one of the more infamous stories is there was a kid who watched an episode of Beavis and Butthead where they set something on fire. Like they either set a house or a shed on fire. So then he decided to emulate that and he ended up either partially or fully burning their house down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Video games have been ridiculed and like harshly criticized by media over the years.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's definitely getting less and less, dude. Like the only game I could think of really in the later years, we were watching a video actually, me and my buddy the other day, about some of the games and like Postal, I think was one of them.
Oh yeah, well, Postal, that's a game that's offensive for the sake of being offensive.
Yeah, it's a pretty fucked up game, dude. Like a lot of the
But it's
stuff in
fun.
there, you're like,
It's
yeah,
fun.
you can like you fucking cats are silencers and shit like that, dude, and you can fucking piss on people. But there was another game too that was not that long ago. It was like a click shooter.
Hatred.
Yeah, that one got pulled from Steam, right?
I don't know if it got pulled from Steam. I don't think it did. I think you can still pick it up.
I don't know, man.
Did you play Hatred?
No.
Okay.
I watched some gameplay on it and some videos on it, but I didn't actually
I will say this: I only played it one time, and I feel like as sadistic as this is, they did a good job putting you in that headspace. Due to the fact that it's like you play through it, and you're like, wow, you really do feel like a dude who just hates all of humanity and is going around. Like at one point, I was going around neighborhood gunning down people because that's like the first map you're in, and then I just end up busting into house party and started killing everyone in there. And it's like, wow, this is a serial killer simulator. They're not trying to cover it up or anything. Like the whole premise of it is a guy who looks like a super goth dude who has an arsenal of weapons, who hates the world and wants to kill everyone. That is literally the story of it. And they do a good job at delivering that, whether you think that's, good or bad. But overall, the game, I mean, aside from that, is just kind of repeats over and over and is a bit mundane. As I said, I played about 20, 30 minutes of it, died, and then closed out of it. I was like, well, I got to play it. That was definitely a tiny bit disturbing, but still interesting. And I've not had a reason to boot it up since then.
Yeah, it's still, I guess, on Steam. It's only like fucking $6 right now.
Only $6. Damn, it's like a $20-$30 game, I think.
Yeah, but dude, looking at just the last couple of feedbacks, it says a perfect game for those who work in retail. I can't believe they allow a game like this. 10 out of 10 would burn people alive again. Showed me the best way to help people. Like some of these fucking comments, dude, is like a great game to let out some steam. It's kind of like Pokemon, I guess. Buy it for your kids. It's fucking fun. Some of the Steam reviews on different games are fucking hilarious, dude. Like I've gotten a good chuckle out of a lot of them.
See, my one of my friends at Tanner, well, you know him, but he said he believes that this was a parody game. And by that, he means there's so many games, like, for example, Grand Theft Auto. Yes, you can turn it into a murder simulator, mass murder simulator, but that's not, the actual story of it. And that's not the point of it. There's an actual storyline and a telling tale and everything. And normally they're pretty good, at least in my opinion.
Yeah,
While as Hatred, it comes out and it's like, no, there's no bullshit here. This is the story. You're a guy, you hate humanity, you have a bunch of weapons, kill everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wild, dude. Like,
yeah, it's not a thing of like good versus evil or revenge or anything. It's like, no, you are killing as many innocent people as you can to kill as many innocent people as you can.
Yeah, there's no. I can see why that's not something that modern society really likes, especially like maybe in the times we're living in, dude, where there's so many innocent people being killed all over the world. Anyway, I don't know, man, but. It's still on Steam, so obviously, like, it hasn't gotten in any real big trouble. It's probably just been like media of last.
Well, I mean, it's AO, so they can't sell it in most retail stores. So they did a digital download of it, and then it came out. A lot of people bought it and played it, and realized that it's not really a replayable game. It doesn't have much replay value, and they stopped playing it. Yeah. I mean, that's about it with it. The hype factor's done over. It stopped being hyped like shortly after release because people got to actually play it and they're like, oh, this is a bit boring.
Yeah. I think, though, that they still made a pretty good amount of money. And I think that all the negative publicity did a fantastic job for sales.
Yes, it did. And I think the funny thing is, as well, too, is the game is banned on Twitch but allowed on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was banned on Twitch.
Yeah. I think all AO games are banned on Twitch.
Got you.
Yeah.
How many fucking AO games are there, dude?
There's not too many. Companies really do not try and create AO games just because when you create a game that is AO, you severely limit where you can sell it. Like, for example, Walmart will not stock AO games. GameStop will not. Target will not. So you really can't do a physical pressing of an AO game.
Got you.
Yeah.
I don't know of any, really, except for this one, I guess you're saying, but...
Yeah, no, it was, well, technically, okay, I guess Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the first print of it is actually technically AO.
Does it say that on there?
They had to put stickers on it. What ended up happening was, did you ever hear about the hot coffee mod?
Yeah, it's like fucking.
Yes, that's what it is. It is like fucking.
Yeah, I actually watched it. I watched the gameplay.
Oh, yeah, I watched it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, what happened was it was technically in the game. It was a very buggy sex mini game that was in there, and they just commented out the code. They disabled it. That's all they did. And it was in the PS2 and Xbox versions, and then also the PC version. Nobody knew about it, though, until the PC version came out, because at the time, like, modding console games wasn't as common. So people started immediately ripping open the PC version, and then they saw there was this entire sex mini game built in there that was kind of unfinished and buggy, and you just had to end up running a patch to re-enable it. So because of that, then I thought this was silly. Like the ESRB, they ended up making Rockstar, well, they didn't make Rockstar do anything. They pretty much re-rated it as an AO. So a lot of stores were just trying to get rid of it. They had to rebrand it. And then Rockstar ended up creating a second pressing of it that had the game completely removed, like the mini game completely removed. So you couldn't access it at all. And I think it was more because the ESRB, they cited that even though you couldn't access it, you needed to modify the game in order to access it. But they said that the sex mini game was in there already. It was not added by modders. So therefore, they saw it as an AO rated game.
Got you.
Yeah. But the reason why I say it's silly is because a few years later, Rockstar released Manhunt 2. And at first, that was AO. And then, because the executions were so violent on there. The time.
I remember seeing the cover. The cover was like a fucking weird mask.
I thought that was a good game.
Wait, didn't you make a mask of that?
From the first one, the smileys.
Yeah, okay. I was like,
my friend Natasha actually made it. Shout out to her. I just watched and filmed it.
Okay.
and paid her for it. But no, what ended up happening was the executions were so violent they actually had to delay the game by 2 weeks because they got an AO rating. And Rockstar, they don't want to make an AO game because they want to actually fucking sell their game.
Yeah, of course.
So they end up putting in censors on there, and like they pretty much obscured all the stuff. Shortly after the game came out, modders actually found a way to remove those censors. And so a bunch of people they immediately refiled it to the ESRB, like angry moms and all that. And they're like, you need to make this AO. And this time the ESRB said, no, we're not going to, because they said that you have to modify the game to remove the censors, which makes sense. And then you might say like, well, you had to do the same thing with San Andreas, but they said, well, you're modding the game to remove something. It's not something that was already in there. And Rockstar has shown that they made a conscious effort already to block that out, to, you know, obscure it a bit and get the M rating.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. There's actually a list. There's not that many AO games, like you said, dude. There's probably like 20 to maybe 25, and they're pretty much all just strong sexual content.
Yeah.
Blood and gore too, and a couple, but I'd say at least 60 to 70% are just strong sexual content. The games are literally called All Nude Glamour, All Nude Cyber, All Nude Nikki, The Joy of Sex. Oh, you said Manhunt 2?
Manhunt 2. No, Manhunt 2 was M.
Originally AO, but was edited by Rockstar. Okay, exactly what you just said. Wait, didn't you say it was Manhunt 1 though? That was supposed to be AO?
No, Manhunt 2 was supposed to be AO. Manhunt 1 was rated M the whole time.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what it says. It says 2009, an uncut version was released for PC. Both cuts were also reviewed. Wet the Sexy Empire. Nice.
Yeah, so most of the AO games are just for, you know, extremely, you know, strong sexual content. There's not many AO games that are truly, you know, just like removed. Well, truly just like violent games.
Yeah.
Is Thrill Kill on that list?
Is what?
Thrill Kill. Look that up.
It is on the list.
Okay.
It says it was canceled, the game.
It was canceled, yeah. I did a video on that. That was actually it was interesting. They had to the game got rated AO, and then they ended up censoring it a bit. They removed 2 or 3 things from the game to bring it down to an M rating, but then the game got canceled.
Is there any beta shit on it?
Oh yeah. No, there's a PAL beta, a NTSC beta, and technically NTSC censored and NTSC uncensored versions. There's also slight variations of all those. I still have never ever seen a copy of the censored version floating around, but the uncensored version you can find quite easily. So that's I've played it quite a bit.
Virgin doesn't make games anymore, right?
No, they don't.
Huh, that's interesting. I feel like I've heard you talk about Thrill Kill before.
I think we've probably talked about it.
I think we did too. I think when we were talking about potentially modifying, I think it was on one of our episodes of ModChat, in honesty, when we were talking about
like first getting into modding and all that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's the game that introduced me to mod chips and boot discs.
Okay. Yeah, okay, then that's totally what it was. Then.
Because I wanted to play that game.
Yeah. That's why I was like, no, I know we've heard you talk about it. Yeah, so that's what it was. And so it was probably on our How Did We Get Into Modding episode.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, those were fun times.
I didn't know that thing about Vice City assets. Who knew?
I didn't know about that either. That's interesting though. So he had said that what is it? He said, I believe, that there were leaked Vice City assets in San Andreas, which is strange because Vice City came out 2 years prior. So I guess there were like unfinished beta assets for Vice City floating in there, which I can believe that. Like even if you rip San Andreas, for example, like when I was like recently backing up my Xbox games, there's like one of the main image files in there is GTA3.img. So these games all use interconnected things.
Huh. That's weird. There was a PS1 game that's
Pixel Butts. Do you know what game that was? I know because we've been talking about Thrill Kill here, but this one was just canceled and then leaked out.
Huh. That is weird.
Yeah. I don't know. Game ratings are interesting. It's funny because here, like, we make a huge big deal about them, while as like overseas, for example, I see, you know, like 5 or 6 year old kids playing Grand Theft Auto and Grand Theft Auto and like Counter-Strike and all. This is like in Jordan when I went there, because like there all the games are bootlegged and then like nobody gives a shit about the ratings.
Well, USA in general is pretty anal about a lot of things, man.
Yeah, but it's like the UK has their own system. They have Peggy, and then Japan has a system as well too. But like in the Middle East, I honestly don't know if they really have one over there. Um, Even so, I noticed I've noticed a bunch of people, like it seems to be outside of the US, seem to be a bit more lenient on what they allow people to play and such.
Yeah, yeah. What? Yeah, that's true. Well, Peggy, what are their ratings? Are they similar to
They
like
have like an
EU18
age.
and?
It's an age on there. But it's like plus three. It's like 3+ or 5+ or 14+.
Yeah, well, I heard say Peggy 18 on like
Yes.
commercials, you know, stuff like that or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that was the exact same thing I was thinking of too. Yeah. The
Peggy
British
18.
accent.
That shit's funny.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, do you want to talk about your printer or what?
Yeah, sure. I'd be down for that. So I'll be doing a separate thing on this as well too. But for anybody who hasn't been following me at least on social media here, which hey, if you want to, cool. If not, it's all good. I'd recommend Twitter though mostly. I ended up getting a 3D printer. Now this thing, it's a $200. You can get it out of the box, pre-assembled 3D printer, and it's from Monoprice. And Daniel actually did a fucking awesome review of it. Like it was so good. I saw that review, and within an 8-hour time frame, I decided to get a 3D printer like shortly after getting that. So definitely like Daniel, major shout out, props for making that video. That was fantastic.
Thank you. I was actually extremely proud with the end product when I watched it. I was like, this is good. So it's nice. It's doing good like in terms of feedback. I have one quick question before you continue because someone
Sure.
told me the other day. So out of my last few videos, one was a live stream and 2 were recorded. The last 2 videos I made were actually scripted, which I'm sure you know.
I could honestly tell they were scripted.
Yeah. But my question is this: do you like them? Because they're doing really good. And I have only had one person out of, I mean, there's probably been a total of like 40 to 50 comments on both, like combined or whatever. I had one guy saying, hey, I don't know if you just started doing this or not, but, don't script it. It doesn't sound as good. But for me, the only thing I like about scripting is that I know that I'm getting my points across versus off the top of my dome. Like I can pre-plan and be like, okay, this is what I want to talk about. This is how, like, I get that I can do points, but do you think it sounds bad scripting? Like, obviously I can work a little bit on making it sound a little more natural. I'm just curious, like.
You actually nailed it right there. That's my only criticism of it. Honestly, I could tell it was scripted just because it didn't sound that natural. And the only way you could do it, I just recommend keep practicing a bit. Because like even when you did that, was that your first take on the recording or did you do several takes?
The thing is I didn't record it all in one thing. Like I would say a chunk and then pause, let myself get a breather, then say a chunk. And so certain parts of it I did record a couple times, but it was kind of all just like chopped together essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I gotcha. Even I guess because scripting does work pretty well. What I do, I've never really scripted too many things. It's more I do outline so I can get my data and point across. Like if I'm dealing with a lot of facts at once, I will, put it into bullet points. That works for me. I'll say with the scripting thing, honestly, and this is not just to you, to anyone else. If you're reading off a script, it just takes practice. That's it.
Got you. Because I mean, I could totally do also as well like bullet points where I have them and I can kind of just talk about a bullet point, then pause, and then cut it all together in the end. It's just that one thing I don't like is that a lot of times when I'm talking in a video, it rants on a lot longer, and there's a lot of like kind of like when I don't really know what to say.
Yeah,
and
those 2 videos you made were pretty concise. They were like 4 minutes tops.
Yeah, I liked that though. Yeah. I mean, I know your videos are a lot longer and like your fans watch them, but for me, like I feel like I don't have as much audience retention as you do, so I just kind of want to like get my points out there, and that's kind of what works for me.
Right.
I guess I'll just have to play with it a little more, man. Maybe I could look up some tips on like scripting.
As I said, I mean, really, my biggest thing, the only thing is I do like the scripted technique on there. It's just keep practicing at it, and that way it will become more natural reading off a script.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you. I just since I had you in front of me right now, I was like, I'm gonna just ask Mr. Mario see what he thinks. Okay. Dude, you were talking about the printer. So
so I ended up getting this thing, and fun thing was, so I ordered it on a Tuesday. Thursday I got it, and then Friday, video still in process right now. So thank you. I guess people do come for the hats. I had someone tell me that. But no, there was my girlfriend then like helped me record the unboxing starting on Friday, and we got the whole thing unboxed, and I set it up, and then the thing broke after like 5 minutes. The thermistor went out on there. I looked it up. That was it. And then I ran it by Daniel. Daniel was awesome enough to, hop on Hangouts on like Saturday and double check it with me. And he's like, yeah, no, that thing is fucked up. One of those things totally fixable, but you have to realize this is a $200 product I'd gotten, and it broke after 5 minutes. Yeah. So at that point, it was like, well, why don't I just RMA it? Because also it was Amazon. It wasn't like I was dealing with a shady third party or anything. Mm-hmm. So I got my new printer on Sunday. That's been working. But 3D printing has been a really fun, exciting endeavor. I've never done anything like it. But I will say it is always a learning process, because there's been at least twice where I've said, oh yeah, this is perfect. And no, then I have to go in and I have to adjust more things. Even prior to this now, I had a few prints that were coming out really well, and then I had some criticisms on them, and then I had to re-level my bed a different way. And I've been noticing things like that. And my prints are still not perfect, but at least like the foundation is getting there.
Would you say that so far most of what you've been having to work with is physical or software side? In terms of your slicer settings?
Ooh, I would say definitely more. I've spent more time physical, but it's definitely been more software on that side, because like there were times where when my prints were fucking up, I was like, no, I have to reset this. I have to reset this. I have to. I kept re-leveling my bed.
Got you.
And I'm like, why the hell is this thing not working properly?
Yeah.
And then I looked into, some settings, and I was like, okay, I'm having this issue with my printer. What do I do? Or I'm having this, or what can I do for better prints on here? And one of them, even I noticed, it kept fucking up the foundations. Like whenever it was just, laying down that first layer. And, then you told me about brims and rafts. So I was doing that. I was trying rafts. Those worked, and they didn't work as well. So I started going to brims, which have been working pretty well. But I noticed even when I was setting those up, I was like, it's almost like the filament's coming out, but it's not coming out fast enough for the printer. The actual extruder is moving too fast. So I was like, you know what? This would be so much better if I could just slow it down. Why the hell? Oh, wait, I can slow it down. And I figured out how to slow it down. So I probably need to slow down the printing a little bit more, the actual printing process. But for at least laying down that first layer, I now have it running at half the speed it was prior, and my foundations are coming out much better.
What have you been using to slice it? What software?
Cura.
Okay, and because I think I talked about it in my review. Yeah, I think I did. But max speed I'll run this thing at is 50 millimeters a second, absolute max. And most of the time,
for 50 millimeters for what, for printing itself?
For the whole printer, yeah.
Really?
For
okay,
printing,
I'm running mine at 150.
I doubt it's actually running it at 150.
Really?
Because I mean it might be, but yeah, anything over 50, and the steppers are gonna skip on this printer.
Oh, so gotcha. I have been hearing that quite a bit, like actually like physically hearing that.
Yeah, because I would say, yeah, dude, I'm not going above 50 on this thing at all.
Okay. The reason why I also did that is because I was using the cat G-code file as the file it came with as the basis there, and I saw also some recommended settings. It was like recommending 150, so I was giving that a try. But yeah, no, I do hear. Are you talking about like where it just when it starts skipping, it's just like kind of like that?
Well, I don't really know. So like basically the stepper motors work off steps. So like a certain click is a step, like so step, step. And like, I mean, obviously it's at a much faster speed, but if you go too fast, it'll skip a step.
Yeah, no, my travel speed is 150 millimeters per second.
That's insane.
And then my bottom layer speed is 10 millimeters per second. It used to be 20.
Okay. That's insane, dude. I mean, if it's working, it's fucking working. But even on my best printer, I won't go above 90 millimeters a second tops, dude.
Mm-hmm. So, I gotcha. Yeah, so I could probably turn that down.
I would slow it down and see. I mean, obviously you have to decide like whether because it's gonna obviously significantly increase your print time.
Yes.
But So you got to decide basically speed versus quality, depending on what you're doing, depending on what you need it to be at. But if you're doing 150 and you're getting shit that's looking pretty good, then fuck, by all means, you
Yeah,
know.
and that's the thing. Like my stuff right now, and I can even show you at one point. At least with, I'll give you more detail. Like it's looking pretty good. It's more, it's kind of like some of the stuff is like a bit rough, just because
Yeah.
like I need like sand it and everything.
Yeah.
But overall, it's looking good.
Well,
There are some more intricate details and such. I would probably need to, I'd probably need to slow it down a bit. And this is a whole learning process, you know, like the thing I also want to say with 3D printing, I've noticed is that it's much more accessible than it was years ago, but it's not a load and file be done process. There is so many tweaks and there's still a bunch of learning that you have to do with it.
even with a $3,000 printer, it's the exact same way.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They
I
don't
have
just
no
work,
doubts
dude.
of that.
Yeah, they don't just work at all. I mean, they're supposed to, but I've seen like I follow some of the bigger 3D printing channels that they get sent like the $3,000 Ultimakers and stuff like that. They have problems too, dude. You still got to understand like even if the printer's functioning 110%, there's still a learning curve on the software, dude.
No, absolutely. I mean,
You
having
know?
a better printer, it might help out a little bit. Like you might run into less issues and such, but
Yeah.
it's not going to automatically make you a guru. It's like, for
No.
example, when I was learning guitar for a bit, and I need to pick that up again. But I got like a really shitty guitar, and because it was cheap, and I remember one of my friends, she's just like, "Well, you know, if you're a shitty player, isn't it going to be bad all around?" I'm like, "No, actually, I used the shitty guitar for like a month, and it was so bad, it actually went out on me. So I ended up returning it. I ended up investing in a nicer guitar, and just instantly I was like, oh, this is so much better play wise. It feels better, the quality, and I was able to improve. So it's not like if I buy a $3,000 guitar, I'm going to be, you know, the next Jimi Hendrix or anything. Nothing like that by any means. But there is kind of a bit where it's like, well, you know, if you spend a bit more money, if you invest in something better, then you are going to get better results, and it might make the learning process a bit easier.
Yeah.
There's still kind of that stepping stone. Like, for example, right now, I like, even with that, I got a cheap guitar. I didn't have to pay anything out of my pocket for that at the time. And I got confident enough where I was like, okay, I could do this. Let me get an actual guitar. Same with this. It's like, this is still a really good printer, but it's like, I would not get a $3,000 printer right off the bat. I'd want to get like this printer, like a $200 one, and get better at it. And then when I'm like, okay, I'm liking this so far, let's go ahead and get the $3,000 printer.
This printer, I'm just saying right now, I wish I had done more prints with the stock setup before I upgraded what I did on Sunday, so I can compare them side by side. But all I know is from like what I printed, at least just even after this little upgrade, this printer prints better than any printer I own, dude.
That's
It
amazing.
Yeah, it prints better than the DaVinci that I've upgraded. It's probably the DaVinci was like a $400-ish printer, maybe $500 even at one point, and then the hot end is another $100, so it's like a $500 to $600 printer. This thing prints way better than that, dude.
The thing is, too, you also have to remember that this is a 2016 printer compared to your DaVinci, which when did that come out? Because you got it about two or 3 years ago, but when did it actually come out?
Let me see. DaVinci 1.0 release date.
It's funny. I was running it by my parents too, and like my dad was completely mind blown. He's like, "What? You spent $200 on a printer?" And I was like, "Yeah, Dad. And it's a pre-assembled, and it's a really good, reputable printer. It's not like a cheap knockoff printer."
Yeah, no, it's a solid ass printer, dude. I wouldn't have fucking like told you, you know, like, dude, no, this is the one. If you trying to get into it, I've been raving about this printer to literally everyone.
It's worth it. I see, and it's funny because I actually tried to find this video on your channel the other day, and I probably just need to spend like 10 minutes digging around for it. But I remember, dude, the very first 3D printing video you made, where you end up making that like 3D like Mario tribute thing. Yeah,
the shrine, the N64 shrine.
And I just remember the entire time you sounded so frustrated because you're like, okay, first off, I ran this thing and it was ABS and it made my entire room smell and it was really noisy and it took so long and it didn't even finish. And then all this is messed up. And then to get it off because it was all stuck, I had to like pry it off the bed.
Use a hammer, bro.
Ended up breaking. So now I'm just like, well, every time I print, am I going to break my bed?
Yeah, I was pissed, dude. It looks like it came out end of 2014, so we're going on.
So I mean, two years makes a big difference in tech.
It's a huge difference, yeah. But it's still, though, I still will say to this day, DaVinci printers are not very good, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, they're known to just be. Again, I know, like, these people in the chat aren't really like. I don't think most of them are real big like enthusiasts about 3D printers, knowing everything about them. But if I were to like be talking in front of 1,000 3D printing people, Some people will be like, no, you know, I've got 3. There's always the fanboys, dude, or the ones that have like not had bad experiences. But if you look at the overall consensus, they're just not good printers, dude,
No,
at all.
I
And they're fucking huge, dude, and they're closed source. And
yeah, I was honestly I was shocked at how light and small this printer was.
oh, it's beautiful. You take it out, and you're like, man, it's not even fucking plastic. It's made out of like aluminum or metal, dude. Yeah, it's so sexy. You got a fucking little screen and SD card slot and easy.
Yeah,
to
and right now I'm
wireless.
actually using Octoprint, so I'll even I'll
Beautiful.
throw this. Yeah, I'll actually throw this up on screen here if anybody is watching, because we also, of course, since this is a podcast, there's an audio version as well too. But no, this is, let me find it here. Yeah. So this is pretty much what I'm working with, which this thing is called Octoprint. And what I did was I ended up, you take a Raspberry Pi, you end up installing the image to it, you know, set everything up on there, and then you just end up hooking it up to your printer. And then at that point now, I end up putting it on my Wi-Fi network. And from my computer here, I'm able to monitor everything. And it's pretty badass because it's like, you know, I can control the temperature. I can, of course, you know, pause, cancel, whatever I want to do. When it's not printing, I can fully control everything from there. Also, if just in case anyone doesn't know, it's kind of like, because I didn't know anything like this, right? I thought you just downloaded the file and that was it. You end up downloading like an image file, which is your actual model, and then you have to slice it a certain way, which is these G-code files. And Daniel and I do this by hand using a different program, but if you want to, you could actually set up a template in here, and then you could just drag and drop the file and use that template to slice it to your settings right there on the Pi and then send it over to print.
Yeah, which, in all honesty, probably would be more convenient. My only thing is that because I don't have a universal template on the way I slice things, depending on what I'm slicing, I do different layer heights, I do different infill settings and stuff like that. It just doesn't really bug me to slice it on the computer, especially since you have Octoprint, dude. I literally slice it, save it to my desktop, click upload, hit print. Like, how hard is that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't really bug me or phase me at all.
Yeah, and also, especially since myself, I'm still working on fixing up what is it? Like, I'm still working on fixing up all these like the settings and everything. So it's like I had a template in here that I thought worked, and I had to replace it because I have another template, and now I'm probably going to need to change my settings again here soon. And different prints require different types of settings.
Definitely. Some things like if they are really thin, then I'll probably do like 100% infill just because I want them solid like all the way through, versus like something big, unless it needs to be extremely structurally strong, I'll do like 20% infill because there's no need otherwise. And you're saving a lot of plastic because, I mean, granted, filament's not insanely expensive, but again, dude, if I were to print like that Mario shrine that I printed, the reason why it took so fucking long was because I had
this
like
one.
Yeah. Is that what WCA just sent right there?
Yeah, shout out to WC. Yeah, I asked him to link me the video if he found it. It's
dude,
right here.
That thing took like fucking 30 to 38 hours, dude.
What, 30?
Yeah, no, it was.
I believe it now. Looking at it, this thing is big.
It was huge, and it was 100% solid, dude. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it took forever, and I fucked up.
Like it didn't look that good because it's not finished or anything.
It didn't. When I sliced it, I didn't know what I was doing. It didn't slice right. Like that's supposed to be an N, but somehow, some way, the slicer that XYZ has, even like the bomb and the Goomba on top and shit, they're not supposed to be submerged into the pillar. They're supposed to be.
Yeah, no, I see that because I remember when I first saw that, I was like, "What the hell is this supposed to be?" Like, I can kind of see Mario.
Yeah, dude, that was such a fucking fail. That was. It took me such like. That's why it's so nice. Like, I wish that I had someone like me, like how I helped you with just those few things when I was getting into it, because it was a very frustrating, not enjoyable experience for me when I first got into it.
No, I totally understand that.
Yeah, I was absolutely miserable. One, again, this little printer is cheap and it works. Imagine like spending $400 or $500 on like your Christmas gift for yourself, and then this motherfucking thing doesn't even work, dude. Like, I was pissed, man. And that's why you see my video. I made that video ranting. Like, I was like, dude, fuck this company. Newegg's return policies bullshit on this. Like, I was so upset, dude.
I remember that rant. That was a good rant.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Like, the video did really good. Like, it has a lot of dislikes too, because some people are just like, oh, don't get a 3D printer if you don't know how to use it. And 2 years has passed, obviously. Like, now I still stand by what I said though. Fuck it all. But there's still a lot of people like nowadays that comment like, yeah, one guy just commented last week saying he bought XYZ has a different style printer. It's not layer by layer. It's like it uses like a liquid or a powder and basically builds up off it. Much more expensive, much longer process, but fucking accurate 100%. Like, I mean, literally the details are insane. But he says he bought his for his $1,200 printer, dude, and it doesn't fucking work. And he's having a bitch of a time getting any help from XYZ. And this is 2 years later.
Yeah, I remember I watched quite a bit of your videos about that DaVinci printer, and like I know it was one of those things. Like I looked at it, I was like, yeah, if I get a printer, I am not getting a DaVinci.
No, yeah. No, yeah, dude. I mean,
so it's like because I wanted a printer like this, where it's like I'm learning how to use it and I don't have to do too much to it. Yeah. But even you, like to get it to a usable state, you had to do how many modifications to, and you pretty much rebuilt the whole thing.
I rebuilt the whole thing.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I really don't for something I'm just now learning how to do.
No, this thing did not work right until I completely rebuilt the whole fucking thing, and that was like insane, dude. Like even people that were like into 3D printing, like when they saw that, they're like, wow, like that video did really good because well, no, I'm not thinking of a different video because originally I just flashed the firmware on it because I wanted to unlock it. So because you had to use cartridges, bro, like cartridge filament, which
and you had to use ABS, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. You couldn't use PLA because they said it's coming, but they didn't fucking say when, and it took a long time.
Do they support PLA now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so they at least supported it. They added it in. Hey!
But it's more expensive, and again, you have to use their brands. You can't just use like how you bought Mono Price, and I have Hatchbox. You can't use that, which sucks. So you're paying like an extra 50 to 60%, which is again how they were supposedly. That's how they thought they were going to make their money back, since these printers were really cheap for their time, dude. To get one for $400 or $500 2 years ago.
No, I remember that was
really good.
That was a very good deal. And now I told my dad, I was like, yeah, no, Dad, like you bought yours for $400 on sale. I bought mine $200 MSRP.
Regular price. Yeah, dude. I met one guy. Well, no, I didn't meet one guy. One guy I follow on YouTube told me that he bought 3 of these and sold 1 and kept 2. Apparently, Monoprice had a fucking stupid sale last year, dude, where there was 30% off these printers.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's so really cheap, bro. 30% off, dude.
Jeez, yeah. So that's $140. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, he says that because it was a steal of a deal, so he stocked up, and he has 2 there's like workhorses, and one of them he just flipped, which probably paid for like, I mean, one of, or not one, but it helped. Like that's
absolutely.
So, but yeah, it's phenomenal, dude.
Yeah.
What do you have? I mean, I know what you've printed so far. Mm-hmm. But what do you have like on your to-do list? Raspberry Pi case, I'm sure, right?
A Raspberry Pi case, yeah, I need to do that. I'm actually printing out like a coaster set right now. So this guy is like, he's a little design everything, and there's like Pikachu on there. I know you probably can't see him too well.
Yeah, no, you can kind of see him. Oh, wait, yeah, at the angle. It looks tight, dude. The pattern's sick.
No, and this is like 20% infill and everything, but no, like this is actually a really nice coaster that came out. As I said, the Foxhound one, I was surprised at how nice that was. I left it at work though, because I'm gonna be giving it to a coworker. And this is nice too, because now it's like I'm giving I'm printing out some gifts for friends. Just either like one's for this one I'm making the Zim one, it's for a birthday. Hopefully the guy watching doesn't see it. Well, hopefully the guy whose birthday doesn't see this, but no, that's going to be a birthday thing. And then there's other ones like just like the Foxhound one. One of my coworkers really likes Metal Gear Solid, so I'm like, here you go. And it's kind of like, even if people reject these, it's like, no, you're actually doing me a favor, because the more I print, like I'm breaking this printer, I'm learning how to do it, and I'm fine tuning my settings and all that. So it's actually like doing me a favor if people can take these from me and offload them.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you right now, I have a tin under my bed with just some like prints that I've kept and stuff like that. But I've had to throw a lot of prints out just because it became like a hoarding thing, essentially.
Yeah, that's a thing I had to think of too. Like I talked with a friend about it last night, and I'm just like, yeah, you could print out a bunch of little random things, but it's like I kind of don't want to fill up my apartment with 3D printed stuff.
One thing that I saw exists, it was like a couple $1,000, and there's another one that I think is in the works, but they need to come out with a cheap way for, I mean, even dude, if it's like $400, I'd probably buy it, but a way where you can throw failed prints into it and it meshes it back into a spool.
Isn't there, somebody was telling me there is a printer. Was it you or was it my manager or someone else? Somebody was telling me there's a printer that ends up taking all that waste and reuses it.
I don't know. I've done research on it a few times. I think the last time I looked was 2 months ago because my buddy's wife was like, "Is there not a way to reuse it?" And the only thing I've seen was a pretty like one was very expensive, again a couple of grand, like $3,000, and one was very complex, like a homebrewed system. And the homebrewed system basically it took the prints into these like jaws, and the jaws basically like chopped it down into really fine pellets.
Okay.
And then the pellets were then went through something else, which then melted it, and then they were somehow pushed through like something with like water that then like took all the like extra bullshit off, and then it re-wrapped around a spool. And I'm just saying, like,
that's pretty cool.
The thing is, it needs to become a thing because again, well, the cool thing is PLA is biodegradable, so at least it's not like really doing much harm to the environment. But I still think even for the sake of money, it'd be nice to be able to reuse your shit. That way, if you're prototyping, dude, like you can, okay, this prototype was no good. Then instead of throwing it in the trash, you could just fucking throw it in the junker and remake it.
By the way, I was also going to correct myself on this. So I'm looking now, I'm loading up Kira and my printing. So I was looking at the advanced section where the travel speed was 150, which I probably need to slow that down a bit.
Okay.
But no, my print speed is 50.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
okay.
No, my bad on that completely.
I was saying, dude, 150, bro. Your printer be like, it's fucking fast, dude. Okay, that makes sense.
Well-adjusted Ultimaker can reach 150.
Okay.
Yep.
Which I don't even know if I believe that, but that's fine. I mean, I think that you'd be sacrificing quality at that speed.
Absolutely.
There's no way, dude, that thing's gonna come out mint.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was one of my only biggest downfalls with this printer. But again, at the same time, I didn't buy it for its speed, dude.
No, I gotcha. It was the same thing for me as well too. Like I was like, I don't really care how long it takes. Like if like a little coaster, like this takes about 3 hours to print, which I'm like, okay, fine. But if this took like 24 hours, then I'd be mad.
What layer height, dude? You got to be printing a 0.1 layer height, dude, for it to take that many hours for that thing.
Let me check on that real quick.
If that's 20%, I would print that bitch at 0.4, which would make a tiny bit less detail, but I can have that printed in no more than 45 minutes, dude.
Really? Layer height is 0.1.
Yeah, that's way too thin, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, don't do any less than 0.2. But most things I do. Okay, so the nozzle on your printer is 0.4. People are saying you're not supposed to go above 70% of your nozzle size, so maybe just do 0.3 layer height. But yeah, for sure do 0.2. And so basically, if you were to just up it to 0.2, it cuts your time in half.
How is that?
Well, because it's doing the layers at 0.2 instead of 0.1, so it's double the layer height.
Okay, interesting. All right.
Yeah, so like when it lays down a layer right now, it's only laying down 0.1 at a time. And if you do 0.2, then it does twice as much plastic at a time.
And then it would look better and everything.
Look better, I don't know. 0.1 is going to look really good because you're going really slow and really thin detail. Okay. But for something like that, dude, like that's not very detailed where it needs to be that.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, I only use 0.1, dude, on things like fuck. Dude, I don't use 0.1 on anything, bro.
Yeah.
Try 0.2. Try 0.2 on something that you print. Like maybe when you've got some free time, print like the exact same coaster at 0.2 and see what the quality difference is. But your speed will be in half, and then decide whether it's worth it to you or not.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, man, something like that, dude, you should be able to print that in 45 minutes, maybe an hour. No way, 2 hours plus.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thanks. Yeah. I'll take that. I'll take that into account then.
Yeah, just give it a shot, dude, and then let me know because
for sure.
I mean, I granted it. If you're like whatever, I don't care. But if you can print it twice as fast and make it look as good, why the fuck not?
Of course. No, I got you on that. Yeah. I was gonna say no. Somebody was saying here, ModChat is 3D printer chat. Technically, it's ModChat Plus, but also I knew this is gonna happen because I'm very excited about this, and I'm talking with somebody whose entire channel at this point is pretty much 3D printing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can move on to something else if you want.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say because you gotta get out of here at what is it you were saying like
6:30, dude.
6:30. Okay, so
I got like 25 minutes.
Yeah, no. So how about this? We can, if y'all want to, for the rest of the time Daniel's available, we can go ahead and do user interaction, which we've never done on ModChat Plus. So if y'all have questions for us, let us know. First question: have you ever custom firmwared a refrigerator from Exit?
Yes. No.
I don't know. I personally don't know anyone who owns a smart refrigerator. There's so many damn things that are not everything needs to be smart.
Wait, that wasn't a fucking troll comment?
Dude, I know you can do it at this point.
I
There's
thought it
smart
was. I thought
fridges,
he
and
was
I'm sure you can.
trolling.
You have to be able to, reflash the firmware on there.
That's wild. Yeah, I didn't know that. It's funny. I actually was just talking yesterday. Okay, so I have a 2014 Corolla, right? And
A
in the Corolla,
2014 what?
Toyota Corolla.
Oh, Corolla. Okay. I thought you said curler, and I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, I have a 2014 pubic hair curler. No, I have a 2014 Corolla, and it was the first model of Toyota like that year when they came out with their version of like it's like their touchscreen interface. And I remember back in 2014, I was like, man, this thing's like okay, but it kind of fucking blows. Like, I wonder if I can like flash it and install like Android or some bullshit over this. And I haven't looked into it in the last 2 years, but I like want to check again because I feel like there's got to be certain car stereo radios that you can probably flash, right?
There are like third-party ones you can. I know even on my car. So I got a newer car recently, last year at least. And what happened was it has Android Auto, which Android Auto is fucking amazing. I absolutely love it. But mine came with it pre-configured, but some cars up until like 2014, 2015 cars, they don't have it, but they have the capability, and you can download a update, depending on your make and model, you can download an update, pop it onto a flash drive, and flash it onto the car. I haven't updated my car because I haven't needed to, but I helped a friend update his Mustang, and I was incredibly shocked at how unintuitive it was.
What do you mean? Like
The
how
way
easy it
you
was?
have to format your flash drive to FAT32, easy enough, and then you have to
Yeah.
pop a file on there, and you have to load it in the car, and you have to run the car in a certain way, wait a few minutes, and then you have to pull it out. You have to take this file, upload it to Ford's website. You end up getting an update file. You pop it on there, and then it says there's no progress bar. It says you have to put it in, turn on the car, do a certain thing, and then you have to wait there for 30 minutes. There's nothing. It doesn't give you a status bar. There's nothing like that. There's no intuition. So I kind of just told my friend, I was like, dude, it's like midnight. I'm tired. I'm going to go home. Sit in your car for the next 45 minutes to be safe. I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah, dude. So
Yeah.
you're
No,
saying
it was a horrible update experience.
got you.
Yeah.
I haven't updated my car. What a world we live in.
I know. It's so weird I could say that, isn't it? Especially since like I was coming from a 2000 Camry. So like all of a sudden now it's like, honestly, any car would have been at least feature upgrade for me. So like even myself, I was like, oh, I mean, this has Bluetooth. That's cool. My old car didn't have Bluetooth. And then I found out Android Auto, which essentially I hook up my phone and then my screen, like my touch screen there becomes a slimmed down version of my phone. And
awesome.
I'm like, oh, this is really nice. And now I'm like, no, now next necessity on a car, I need Android Auto.
I feel like you told me about that when you got your car that you were fucking excited for that. Yeah, I remember you talking about that shit.
That is honestly my favorite feature on the car. And it's not even an exclusive feature. It's just like I love it because I'm like, I didn't have this.
Yeah, it's just something new, you know. I like modern what is it? Amenity?
A modern amenity, I guess. Yeah.
Amenity, yeah.
Modern thing. Spoiled. Yeah. What is it next? Other thing here. I'm trying to find. Yeah. So, well, I guess we might be going back to this. What's a good place to start as far as 3D printers go? I would honestly say the printer we talked about for 30 minutes, the Monoprice, MP Select Mini. Yeah. That's my first 3D printer. I've been using it since Sunday, and I've learned quite a bit with it, and it is an excellent entry point. And Daniel, you can probably talk some more on that too. I don't want to only steal the thunder here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm probably picking up a second one. I know that weird. I know that Monoprice, I believe in April, is coming out with a second revision of it, as well as another printer that's going to be $150, which is even cheaper. But it's a Delta style, which I don't think Delta style printers are very good beginner printers, even if it prints really well like this one does. I feel like there's more complications with them. So my thing is, like, if you want to wait, you can wait for the one to come out in April. But from what I've seen and what I've heard, the upgrades are very far and few, like a different knob.
And even not only the upgrades, but even like the features that, because I think my I think my manager had told me about that when he mentioned it to me. And essentially, when I looked it up and when he told me it's a cheaper printer that has less features than this one, and it's about $40 to mod the features back into it and add them in.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
But the upcoming monoprice revision.
No, the revision on this one has the revision that's coming out for this one is the same price, I believe, but it has upgrades.
Oh, I'm talking about the one that was there's one that's come out for 160.
Yeah, that's their Delta style one. So that one's basically it's like the one that has no moving bed. It's like got three like spider like arms that come down. Yeah, that's the one that's coming out. And that one, yeah, I don't. It's there's no way. I probably get one because they're so fucking cheap, and I just to make videos on and to mod and stuff. But I'm saying like they're coming out with it's called the Monoprice Mini V2. Like it's literally this printer, but version 2. It's gonna be black. It's gonna have like a different knob. It's gonna have what the fuck else did I see? It's having a couple things. Like I think you can upgrade the hot end easier on it. Maybe a little bit more structural support in the Z height. But the thing is like all of those things you can do with this one. Like I popped off my knob. I'm going to be actually 3D modeling a new knob. I'm probably going to make a video or stream out of it. So that's not a big deal. Like that's not worth waiting for. If the Z-axis bothers you because it wiggles a little bit, I printed out some brackets that are available online and popped them into place that fixed that, which again didn't affect print at all. I just made a little more noise. Not a big deal. I was able to upgrade the hot end. Not a big deal. So to me, it's like nothing coming out was like, no, dude, hold the fuck off. This thing is going to just be night and day. Now, they're more like little improvements that the community has talked about over the past 6 months or so since it's come out. If I end up getting another one, if it's out, I'll get it because it's the same price. But if not, I'm just going to get the same one. I don't give a fuck. This thing's fantastic. Like, why do I want anything else?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, no, and that was a thing for me too. So like we both definitely recommend the Monoprice MP Select Mini. And yeah, no, as I said, like there's a cheaper one that's coming out, but apparently it's $160 and for about $40 you can re-add the features in there. It's like, well, I'm gonna spend the same price. Why don't I just buy this now and not wait and not have as much effort?
Yeah, and specs aren't out on that 160, I don't believe. I mean, if you were at ECS, Electronic Convention Center, ECS, that doesn't sound right.
No, that's not.
It's not right.
Not
CES.
CES. That's
CES. Yeah.
So many acronyms.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't sound right. If you were at CES, then I'm sure you like probably got to see it and stuff. But I haven't seen a single article that has like 100% like here's the data sheet, spec sheet whatsoever. So we're all like waiting on Monoprice to release it. But I think the build area is smaller too than this one even is. I can't quote on it, but based off what I saw, its enclosure, it looks like it's going to be a little bit smaller.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, granted, again, like it's still you can learn on it and stuff, but I like the area that I get on this printer. To me, is perfect for a huge like array of projects and things that you might need. Going smaller than this, I don't know that I'd really want. Again, unless it was just for fun type thing. I'm as like a learner, but then why not get this one for I don't know. We'll see, man. I mean, they're doing it, and I'm sure they're thinking it's gonna sell. Otherwise, why develop a completely other 3D printer? But I just nothing about it to me other than the lower price tag of people are like $160. I feel like they're more like for schools essentially to show kids like what 3D printers are and can do and stuff like that. But I don't know, man.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see in April if that's truly when it is coming out. That's what it's been rumored at, and that's what I've heard. I've been seeing any, again, these are all allegations at this point.
Right.
So
you want to pull a question?
Yeah. Oh man.
There's a few.
Yes. What is the question to answer? Oh, WCA, you troll. What is the question to answer? Life, universe, and everything. Yeah, dude.
It's 42.
WCA is like. Are you going to build a castle with your 360s? Oh man, I don't have enough 360s, but build a cat enclosure.
Yeah, see, I still want to do that. Like, I want to do a guinea pig enclosure, but I don't have any guinea pigs, unfortunately, so I can't.
Yeah, I've only got like 2, so I won't be building any castles. Do this one. This one's for you, Mr. Mario. Any opinions on the strategy difference between PS4 Pro and the Project Scorpio?
All right, Dano, do you know too much about those two? What's been going on? Because I know you're into PC now. You really don't like you don't have the Xbox One or the PS4.
No, I mean I know about PS4 Pro probably plenty. Project Scorpio I know little to know about at
Mhm.
all. I thought it was going to be VR.
Well, it's supposed to support VR. I haven't looked at leaked specs. I try not to do that with consoles because I'm like, hey, we'll get it when we get it. PS4 Pro, it's definitely been they were touting these things as 4K machines. Um, the PS4, both of them, they're going to have some games that do native 4K. They're going to have others that have like partial 4K. It's called checkerboard or sparse rendering, whatever the hell you want to do. It's kind of a bootleg 4K in a way. It's not upscale, but it's not native. Um, but the PS4 Pro, it's doing exactly what I expected, which is at first it was kind of rocky with the games with pro patches. Some of them were actually running worse, which I wasn't foreseeing at first. But now there's actually games coming out that are utilizing that hardware properly, and you're getting very nice boosts in quality there. But then with Project Scorpio, I don't know what the hell is going on with this thing. Like, I'm planning on getting one whenever it comes out. It's just at first they were coming out and saying they're like, yeah, no, we're going to let developers decide what they want to do. And they said, well, no, we're going to aim for 4K. And they were originally saying it's going to be 4K uncompromised. And they were saying it's going to be a premium game console. And now apparently they're trying to target something comparable to the PS4 Pro in terms of specs and price, I guess, which is going to be more powerful than the PS4 Pro. But I'm not sure what's going on with this thing. I think it's just going to be one of those things. We'll get it and we'll see what the hell happens whenever it happens. But
There's
no,
no,
I think there's just we're gonna probably see a true reveal for Scorpio, like an actual hardware reveal in the next few months. If not, we're gonna see one at E3 for sure.
there's no release, right? Like set. Are they saying winter of this year, like holiday this year?
It's supposed to be holiday this year, so probably November or December.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Have you seen the Android app Moonlight? It lets you stream your PC game to your phone if you have an NVIDIA card and are on the same Wi-Fi.
I have not. I haven't messed with that at all. That's pretty neat though.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of that. How would that work? Oh, so, wait.
It just
So then you can,
it's a really good way of doing remote play from your computer.
how would you play? Like, you have to use a controller?
Probably a controller or like a keyboard and mouse or something.
Huh. Okay. I
Yeah.
like it. I like that it's a possibility. I'm just trying to figure out like
I've
its
done some
practical
things like that
use.
before. Like there was one app I had on iOS. I don't remember what it was called, but I remember I used it for my computer and it worked for like the 2 times I took it to the bathroom.
It's just like I'm gonna carry this on the toilet.
Yeah, I tried it and then I was like, oh, this is kind of annoying, but it works.
Do you know anything about this? It's just thought I saw that they can now fit the whole NES library on the classic.
Yeah, well, I don't know about the whole NES library, but this is the thing we were talking about with the NES Mini, where at first they increased the game limit from 30 to 60, and then it was going up above that, and now apparently the last number I saw was you could add up to around 600 games.
600 games?
You can now put it because the entire NES library is under 900.
Yeah.
But you can put it's over 600 games. That's the last one I saw for sure. And essentially, you end up just creating folders and you dump all the games in there.
And that's with the built-in memory?
Yeah, yeah, because
Wow.
you can't expand the storage on it yet.
Got you. I have a question actually for one of our viewers.
Sure.
Retro says that Moonlight worked great for me. He streamed his PC through his Fire Stick. So you're telling me you're able to play your PC games on your TV? That's cool as shit.
That is pretty cool.
If
You could do the same thing with what the hell was I using? I guess Steam in-home streaming. You can do that, but like you can't do it off a Fire Stick like what he was doing.
Wow, he says, yep, that's fucking tight because I've got a Fire Stick right here, and I'd be super pumped if I could just lay in bed with like a Bluetooth controller hooked up to this shit and play laying down sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah,
because, well,
go ahead.
dude, you owe me a fucking soda, Jinx. Well, I know, like the bed's right here, so it's not really much of a difference, but it's just laying this way is more comfortable than laying this way.
No, I totally feel you on that.
Yeah. So, anywho's, and go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. It wasn't, but yeah. No,
Right.
no worries.
I Bluetooth the controller to my Fire Stick. That's fucking tight, dude. You look. There's someone. Tophead was talking to you.
Yeah. Well, we don't really do we really don't do the tech support thing on here, but I guess this is like I've never he's asking one of the things I'll take this is like which is a simpler install. At least this is for 360 modding, a squirt chip or a cool runner. I'd probably say cool runner because I never heard good things about the squirt.
Yeah, it was. I made a video on it
I
because it's
think
just
the Ace,
sexual.
I've heard very good things about the Ace chips, but I don't remember ever hearing anything good about squirts.
I made a video on him though. Do you remember? Like it's literally sexual, like the whole thing.
No, I never saw it.
Dude, their logo was literally like, dude, it was like a dick coming. Hold on, dude.
Don't show it. No, don't.
Oh no, it's not bad. I made a YouTube video a long time ago. It's not like bad. It might not be like actually like a dick coming, but it's like, hold on, man. You
Yeah,
gotta see it. I tell you, I won't put
I
anything
remember
that's
there
like
was
bad.
something. The reason why I didn't like them either was because there was a big controversy of what happened, where I guess they end up releasing their chips, and they were directly competing with Team Executor at the time, and they were saying, "Hey, it's like, hey, we got RGH2 working first, and it's better, and all this other stuff." And then they ended up releasing the Squirt glitch programmer or something like that. And I remember several modding sites immediately stalked them because they're like, oh my God, this is supposed to be amazing and it's so much cheaper. And then a few sites ended up, it was like one main site at least was stocking them for sale. And then they took them off and they started bashing the team. And they said, this product is shit. And then Squirt ended up attacking this site. They're like, no, like these guys are lying. And the site retaliated back and they said, we're not lying at all. The reason why we don't recommend your products and we don't sell them anymore is because they are shit, and you know they're shit, and we are not afraid to tell our customers that. So I think even what happened afterwards was then I don't remember the selling side. I don't remember the retail side at all. But Squirt ended up getting them raided.
Wait, the website
Yeah.
by the cops?
Yeah, they ended up like reporting them somewhere, and they end up getting raided or something, just because they're just like, hey, you won't sell our products and you keep bashing them. And then I never really heard anything after that. But I remember I heard several other testimonies when other people tried them. They're like, yeah, they are not good.
Yeah, I definitely. I think I had one of their chips at one point, but I don't think I ever installed it. Watch this shit real quick, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. I don't really. Okay, wait up.
Sexual references and penis logo. Okay, 360.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, first off, can you see that?
Okay, yeah, I see it. The 360 is a bit more. The 6 is a bit more phallic than it needs to be, or phallic. Okay, what's going on?
Wait, I think it makes sound effects though. Hold on. Let me see. Wait.
I mean, we really can't hear it here.
Oh, you can't? Shit.
Yeah.
Wait, right here.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Right?
Yeah.
That's like behind that's their company, dude.
Jesus Christ. That kind of summarizes the maturity of the team, I guess.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so sorry, I had to share that. I totally forgot about it. And you I haven't heard the word Squirt 360 in years.
Yeah, no, they had that run and their products weren't that good. And then especially after then when they pulled that whole stunt with that company, well, that reseller that was bashing them, then nobody wanted to sell their shit.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Anyways, I guess this will kind of be the last question here, and then we'll get you out of here because you need to leave in a few minutes.
Yeah, I gotta get going shortly here, but yeah, we can definitely do another question.
Yeah. No, James here is asking, will we be seeing anything like this in the future? And I'm hoping he's talking about ModChat Plus, not really the Squirt logo, unless you want to go to Pornhub for that. I don't know. Yeah.
James.
No. I don't know how often we're going to try and do ModChat Plus every few months at least, which is what we originally aimed for. Like we didn't plan to do a 11-month hiatus for ModChat Plus.
No, I mean it'd be cool if we can somehow work it out where it's once a month, but I feel like that's too much of a commitment to say right away.
That'd be 2 episodes a month, which is still doable, but still,
yeah,
we'll see. Yeah,
it'd be easier to start off with like just saying we'll do it like every other month as a bonus treat.
exactly.
You know, they're like, this month you get 2 episodes, next month just one, and the next month 2 episodes. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, I'm sure we'll do
Yes,
more.
we will do
And
more.
I would like,
We will do
yeah,
more of these. We just don't know when we're going to do them.
yeah, and it won't be. I promise, it won't be. If it was March last year, it won't be a 8 month, 9 month, 10 month fucking gap in between. No way in hell. But it's hard for us to say truly like how often, because ModChat is our bread and butter, and this is our fuck, what goes on bread and butter?
Toast.
Salami. I like salami. You can have toast.
Okay.
Are you a salami fan or no?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it the few times I've had it. I don't eat salami too much, but yeah.
I haven't had it in a while. Like my mom used to get it. Do you have Trader Joe's where you live or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do,
So my mom
actually.
used to pick it up from Trader Joe's all the time, and then I worked at an Italian deli for a year, and we had like, I mean, dude, just fresh fucking salami coming in from Italy, all different, like peppered, spicy, and yeah. For lunch, I would just slice off, whatever amount I would need, and make like on a fresh baked roll, and dude, fucking
Wow,
fire.
you're
But
making me hungry now, man.
yeah, I'm starving actually. I've got pizza's gonna be here in like 10-15 minutes. So
It's
I'm
always pizza with you, but
stop, dude.
you saw that he was like bouncing with excitement.
Dude, you're telling me you don't love pizza, bro? Like it's
Pizza's actually my favorite food, but it's
Yeah.
been so long since I've eaten it, and I don't know why. I don't eat pizza that much anymore, and it's kind of disappointing.
fucking pizza's the food of the gods, man.
It is. It truly is.
But I don't know, man. Is there anything you want to wrap up? I don't know if you're hanging out for a little while longer or not, but is there anything you want to wrap up before I take off?
No, I think we're good with this.
Okay.
And,
Well-
and hopefully you all enjoyed it too.
Did you guys enjoy it?
Just
put it on blast. Like I'm like James WCA top head exec. Did you enjoy it? Sorry, man. I'm getting weird. I haven't eaten a lot today, and it's just been excessive amounts of things going on. But
and I don't have like my fluids are all over the place. I donated blood, so like technically.
oh yeah. I actually saw your Instagram post. It made me a little bit wheezy, dude. I don't know.
That's why I like posting those.
Yeah, my stomach's like hit or miss with things, and like blood doesn't necessarily like always do it, but it was something about like I have tattoos and stuff, but I don't like needles, man, and I don't like blood draws, and like I could see like the outline of like what looked like blood that had dripped out, and it was under the bandage, and it just made me a little
that was a
uncomfortable.
bit of iodine that was there.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I thought that was blood. And I was like, oh.
No. They put this brown iodine right there, and they take this like blood looking iodine and like put it right there, and then they stick me with the needle.
Got you. Okay. Right on. Yeah, because it just like I saw it, man. It was like I just woke up. Fuck. It's like, yeah, it didn't make me happy. That's all. But
Okay. Well, that's why I like to post those pictures whenever I donate.
yeah. Oh, Joe says need more notice. I just stumbled upon the chat. Didn't you post it? I thought you, or did you just post it yesterday?
2 days ago.
Yeah, Joe, how far in advance do you need notice?
It'll get to the point I just need to start calling people now. Be like, hey, just let you know we're gonna be doing mod chat this day at this time. Hopefully you can come out.
Like we'll send you a Christmas card, like or not a Christmas card, but we'll send you a fucking card in the mail, formally inviting you to it a month in advance. That sounded sassy, and it was intended to be a little bit. I'm sorry, but anyways,
mine was intended to be a joke, but I have thought of that before. I'm like, maybe it'd be fun to like just call people, be like, hey, just let you know, because with YouTube's shitty delivery system, sometimes be like, hey, let you know, I'm gonna be dropping a video in the next 2 hours.
yeah, it could. He says he'll blame YouTube, so yeah,
Okay, that works. That's fine.
yeah
At least they let you know of this. That's cool.
Yeah, we're all aboard that train. But WC says me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it was definitely fun hanging out and just kind of chit chatting. And I'm sure, dude, in the next week here, we'll be talking more about 3D printer stuff. I'm very curious, though, to know, again, print something that you've already printed at 0.2 and let me know, again, you'll see how much quicker it is and just see what the quality is like, whether you think that it's good. Because, again, with stuff like, I could see 0.1, dude, on something that's like insanely fucking intricate, dude. Like, when I printed this little fan shroud adapter for the printer, I did 0.1 because it's so fucking thin. Like, it's insanely thin, and I wanted it to be airtight or as close to airtight as possible.
No.
But yeah, dude, for that thing, I would even print it, like, again, people are saying don't print above 80% of your nozzle, but I printed 0.4 on a 0.4 nozzle. But yeah, I could hammer that out in like 25 to 20 minutes on that fucking printer up there, dude.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So just
I'm actually gonna try it right now. I'm gonna pop in 0.2 there for the setting. It does reduce it to it says 1 hour 36 minutes for this one, just for a different one right here. And I'll go ahead and give this a shot and print it out here.
Okay. Just let me know. Let me know tonight. Just tweet at me or fucking something. Message me.
Absolutely. I
Okay.
shall. I shall.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Anyways, thank you all for listening, watching all that stuff. If you're watching it now, of course, this is over, most likely, aside from the people here live. If you're listening to it on iTunes or Google Play Music or Podbean, wherever it is, please let us know, mostly in the comment section on YouTube here, how this episode was, what all you'd like and everything, because we really do take that constructive criticism. So we would like that. Anyways, thank you again very much for everyone coming out. We'll let you know when the next one is, and we'll definitely also have a actual episode of Mod Chat this month as well too. But it's been very fun doing our first live episode of Mod Chat Plus.
I'm sorry, these last comments are pretty funny, dude. If someone said make the Mod Chat hotline so we can get calls when Mod Chat happens, then Mr. Mario's automated phone service coming soon.
I really should do that. Look into that.
Yeah, automated tech support idea. You just have one message. Did you try turning it on and off again? It's fucking hilarious. I just saw that. I was like, no, that's good. I like that everyone kind of chimed into that.
Oh, man. Perfect.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we will see you guys. We'll see you guys on our videos, but we'll also see you guys on the next Mod Chat then coming up. Well, I guess this month since it's now February.
For sure.
So,
all right. Well, hey, everyone, thanks for coming out. Thanks for listening.
Have a great week, guys.